Hey, my name is Glenn. Welcome to my channel, Super Duty Explorer. Today we're going to be going over what do I put in that giant pack as a beginner backpacker. Why do I call myself a beginner? I got into truck camping back in 2018. I started doing a lot of hiking about 2020 and been doing it for, about 4 years now, aggressively. Got into backpacking last winter because just wanted to go on some more epic of hikes that I needed to get more distance in, and I couldn't push much more than the 20 miles I was already doing on day hikes, so now I'm able to get further out. But anyway, like I said, I've been doing this about a year. I just got back from my third backcountry backpacking trip out in the Badlands. It was an awesome experience. Like I said, yeah, 3 times. I did one up in the UP, out in the Great Smoky Mountains, and Badlands National Park for camping so far. I've truck camped all over the place and day hiked all over the country though, so not a complete newbie. So like I said, a lot of heavy gear, a lot of new gear. I'll try to go over it, some of it, why I picked some of it, why I chose it, what I don't like, what I do like, and just give you my idea. I pretty much learned everything I know off of watching YouTube videos, so I can give you all the names of people I found, but I'll just kind of go through my stuff and you'll kind of see where I came from. So we start out with a foam pad on the bottom. It adds just a backup layer, extra protection. I mean, not really going to be comfort at this point, but then we got the Thermarest. Thermarest X-Therm NXT, I believe it's called. Or NeoAir X-Therm NXT. Why did I get this? Well, I used the Sea to Summit Extreme, whatever it's called. And when I was testing in the backyard at about 5 degrees, I got cold and I suffered through for a couple hours. And then I spent about 6 hours warming up when I finally gave up at 5 a.m. from being cold. And never wanted to be cold again, so I got this thing. Yes, I use this. This is a multi-purpose tool, so it's a light. It also inflates pads. It also stokes fires, because if you've ever tried to make a fire with wet wood, you got to do a lot of blowing. This does all the blowing for you. Alright, I turned this around now so you can maybe see a little bit better. Got a pretty easy zipper to open, goes down most of the way. Giant draft tubes. Oh, this is the Nemo Sonic 0 Degree. I got this because it seemed like the best price bang for your buck. I mean, it was still expensive. I can't remember what I paid for it, $600 I'd say. But for a 0 degree sleeping bag, with all these features, it just seemed like the most versatile. So it's got that. This Velcro's in everywhere. The zipper's nice, except when you're in it, because it goes around your shoulders so tight to keep you warm. That part is a little tricky to do. But then it's got a little thing that keeps the metal away from your face. It's also got, I didn't show you on the inside. So it's got these vents. You can open this, and then also open the outside, and then it's right straight through. This last weekend, or this last trip I was on, I had both of those open because It got, on the second night, it only got down to like 25, and it was warm. At 20 it was manageable, but at 25 it was just too hot. So yeah, that's my sleep system. The hood, super tight. I used to wear, like with a cheaper bag, I would wear a hat. With this one, you don't need to. Like I said, Thermarest X-Therm NXT. I tested it down to -18 Fahrenheit, close to -30 Celsius. I like a pillow. As long as it's not super cold, I kind of roll around, so I don't worry too much about anything else. But yeah, this is my sleep system. Like I said, I've tested it everywhere from -18 all the way up to +25 now. It does really good from about -10 to +10. And yeah, so I'm a sweater, so I usually have to put water in for getting it dried out in the mornings. I need to get a top coat at some point, I think, but so far, super happy with this. All right. So I put my sleeping bag in this Sea to Summit dry sack. I know a lot of people say stuff sacks are overrated. This goes on the bottom of my bag, and this is what keeps you alive. I'm protecting it with whatever this weighs. That's just how it is. I don't get super crazy with packing it down. It could go a lot smaller. This seems good enough. For the sleep system, we got 63 ounces. 63. That is for the stuff sack and sleeping bag. Pillow. Now this is really gonna get some people going. This is the case for my little blow up thing. Yes, I have a case for it. Stuff sack. I love stuff sacks. I've got 2 pillows. Probably don't need 2. 2 pillows on this thing. This comes out, it's gonna bother me a little bit. 17 ounces. That's a bit aggressive. Doesn't really fit in there, but it's in there good enough, I guess. Thermarest with stuff sack, 21.5. Okay, the Nemo switchback comes in about we'll just call it 15 ounces. So that is my sleep system. Is it a little heavy? Yeah, I got what? 1.5, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, what is this, 8 pounds? That's not the best, not the best. Where do I try to drop a little weight out of here. I do like the pump, but I could drop a little bit of weight out of here. One pillow, no stuffed sack. That's something we could try. All right, now the main star, we are backpacking. I did used to have, when I first started day hiking, I got an Osprey 65 that I loaded up with weight to test or train myself for backpacking I wanted to do someday. I would just throw like a big hammock and a gallon or 2 of water in there and just go hiking for the day. But after I got some of my camping stuff, I tried loading up the 65 and I could not physically fit the stuff in because this stuff is bulky, but my stuff just gets bulkier from here. So what did I go with? Well, I work summers, so I only backpack in the winter basically. So I needed obviously cold weather gear and a big backpack. So I got this last year. This is a Mountain Hardwear AMG 105. Why so big? I just didn't want to run out of room. You can always cinch the backpack down tighter. You can't make it get bigger. Why this backpack? You see it's got this thing back here. And these here snowshoes go right in like that. And you strap them down just a little bit more and away you go until you need them. Or you can throw whatever other crap you want in there. Usually that's where my like wag bag and all that stuff goes. On this last trip, I had extra water back here because we'll get into that. So like I said, big compartment back here, another small one here, side compartment. The top you can overload, and I usually get it pretty big up there. And then the brain goes up on top. It's not the best weight transferring system I've seen, but for the size and what I put it through now, I can't complain. So yeah. That goes in there. This goes in here. And once you get this loaded up, if you don't have this back here, backpack likes to tip over. So this is dual purpose. Keeps your backpack upright, but it's not really a real dual purpose, I guess. This stuff I put up here, like I said, might as well just get this out of the way. Lag bag, backcountry, wintertime, hate them, terrible, part of life. And then half a roll of toilet paper, which also works as Kleenex and whatever else you need. Well, that's that. Next, this is a controversial part. I got the Nemo Kunai 2-person tent. It's not technically a 2-person because you couldn't fit 2 pads in there. Why did I get this tent? I got this tent because it was rated as a 3 to 4 season tent. It was under, I think it was under $600, and it was in stock. Looking back, don't really like it, I'll be honest. It's a pain to set up, pain to get in and out of, and yeah, it's not really that light. It has done pretty good in snow. I'll try to put some pictures or video up. It's gone through a snowstorm of 6 to 8 inches of Midwestern snow. And I only woke up once to push snow off, so it didn't collapse on me. I count that as a win. I don't think it would do well in the rain. I think it would collect water above the vestibule area, collect water, and then it would just collapse at some point. So again, not the biggest fan. I got the ground sheet because just extra protection. I'm just trying to protect all this gear. It's very expensive. These are the tent poles and stuff. And then I exchanged most of my, well, I just added to it. With this tent, I just got it all out. It's not very strong, so MSR ground stakes. And then I got these for when I'm in snow for the main corners. This also is my spoon because I had lost my big spoon I didn't want to buy. So it goes down in the bag and works great as a spoon because I lost my pink titanium. So I'm too cheap to get a new one. Like I said, everything's got to have two purposes. So for the tent poles and stakes, we got 29 ounces. And for the tent itself and ground sheet, we got 54 ounces. 54. Not the lightest setup, not the best setup. This is probably the next piece of gear I want to replace. I'm thinking either the MSR front range for a light option, or for a heavy option, I'm thinking the Hilleberg, I think it's the Alac. It's like a two-person dome tent. Throwing those ideas around, I'm not sure which one's going to win yet. So, this is what it looks like after all that. You can see this, but I got my tent, my poles, my sleeping bag, so it kind of holds my back. And that's up there. That looks like so far. This is the part I need some work on. Because, well, after weighing some of that stuff, I need to work on that too. But this is a new piece of gear I just got. It's a backpack that folds up into this, but it's extremely light. I use it as a sunrise, sunset, summit pack. But everything's got to have two purposes. Two, at least. So what is it? It's also a stuff sack. Before I stuff everything in. Extra clothes. An extra pair of tops and bottoms for sleeping in. And then one extra top. One extra top that would normally probably be on my body. I just have it in here, but I had a total of 3 tops and 2 bottoms on my trip. However that happened, some of the time I was wearing 2 while I was hiking, sometimes I wasn't. 1 pair of extra underwear. And then I personally, because I have such issues with my feet, with sweat, with nerves, with everything, 1 pair of socks for every day. Do I care about adding that little extra weight after all this? Not really. Alright, so for down, I just got this. It's an Under Armour down jacket. It was $80, that's why I got it. It's just a cheap down jacket that I don't really have to care too much about. That's the stuff set. This is my synthetic puffy. It's a Feel Raven Expedition series. I sweat a lot. You need synthetic for that. This, I rarely even hike in this because I would get very hot. I don't think I ever have actually. This is my main jacket. This jacket's quite old. It's 2 years old. It's my shell. Carhartt Storm Defender. It's heavy, but I've used it as my work jacket for 2 years. And it survived 2 inches of rain hiking out of the Great Smoky Mountains. And it kept me dry and warm. So, would I like to replace this for the weight? Probably. I don't actually know what it weighs at the moment. We'll get to it. But it's quite heavy. But it's bomb-proof. Just 100% bomb-proof. Don't worry about it. Brush, thorns, rocks, anything you want, go for it. And going along with it, Carhartt Storm Defender bibs. Kind of a pain to put on. As a shell, they're kind of warm, decently warm. They're waterproof, again, Appalachian Trail, 2 inches of rain. I was dry from head to ankle, surprisingly. So it's heavy gear, it's strong gear, it's the warmest. No, but clothes are extremely expensive, so this is what I have to work with. The jacket, got 47 ounces. Bibs, also 47 ounces. Odd. $78 ounces. 78. So depending on where weather or what weather's doing is kind of how you sometimes pack your gear. My cooking system and water storage. So this last trip to the Badlands was a heavy water carry. I was told to take everything I would need with me, and I planned on being gone for just over 2 days, 2 nights, 2 full days at least. So I took 2 4-liter dromedary bags and 2 Nalgene's. I know these are heavy. For winter camping, these are a must in my opinion for warming your sleeping bag, drying stuff out, just not worrying about something leaking. You know, stuff can kind of freeze in those as long as you keep them right. I usually bring one of these and put it in the back just because it's an easy way to have extra water storage and it doesn't weigh that much. But this trip I took 2 and they were both full. It was not good. So for all the water storage, we got 29 ounces just to hold the water, plus another 23 pounds of water weight. As for my cook system, I use white gas. Why white gas? Because I was told the little canister stoves don't work the best below whatever temperature. I don't know, just seemed like the best idea. The most power for cold temperatures, because I tried melting snow on my first trip with the jet boil and it's doable, but trying to fill both of these up with the jet boil, your water's cold by the time you do it. So, what do I use? I got a Sea Summit 2.7 liter pot. Why so big? So when this is full of boiling water, I can fill both of these with one pot. And if I'm really good, there'll be a little bit left to put in my dinner. It's got a handle, holds itself shut. Also holds itself open. So Sea Summit, 2.7 liter. I don't know. I'll measure the whole thing. And we got the MSR, I think it's called the EKG. MSR, I forget what. But we got a little tool bag, stuff sack, and the actual stove and pump. I travel with the cap on, and I want to get the non-safety caps because I was told if that fails, it's a really bad day. So I want to get ones without child protection. Why do I not leave this in? Because I just feel like I would break this. On the last trip, I threw that down a small cliff because I was stuck. I don't know if this would have survived, so I just try to protect all my gear and not have failure. I'm always out alone, so it's not always easy to get out. And I like to have water because otherwise you die. Food is, you can eat stuff cold, but water, if you have to melt snow, you need it. So this big, heavy, lots of power, lots of noise. It's worked awesome so far. It takes a little while to get going because you gotta light it and then heat the coil up and all that stuff, but MSR Expedition, I'll put the name up and that stuff. The pot's got a little lock. The cook system, we got 1 pound, 11 ounces, so that is 27 ounces, right? 27. So the cook system, the waterway, I think I said the same. So that is the cook system. I don't have these loaded up right now. Oh, I didn't weigh this because this changes. We'll just call it 20 ounces when it's full. I got one on this last trip. There's a pocket in the back you can slide it down into. And the other one, because I didn't really have anywhere good to put it and I wanted to be able to access it halfway easily, I just put it back in here, which I know it's a long ways back, but when you cinch this up, it pulls that up, so I didn't get too worried about it. This I should probably fill up, but you just find somewhere to tuck it. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. It just doesn't work normally. So now we're getting close to having this thing full. We'll have a few more things here. For around camp, these are my booties. They look stupid, and you wouldn't think they're very warm. They're surprisingly warm compared to your hiking boots. However, to make them even warmer, this is what a lot of people sit on. I don't sit on this, well, I do sit on it, but not normally. This usually goes on the ground in front of me. I put my feet on here, put my feet in here, and then you can be sitting on snow with your feet warm, because in the winter there's not a lot of daylight, so you're a lot of sitting time. Feet are very important to me, so if you don't like it, too bad. You can also sit on this, do whatever you want, but I use it for my feet. Stuff sack, yeah, I know they weigh a lot. This is what it is. So we got the booties. We'll measure the booties just to see. Booties with the stuff sack, 10.5 ounces. So that's not bad. This, I forgot to put this in with the toiletries. This is a pee bottle. When it's cold out, pee bottles for inside your tent so you don't have to go outside. Gross, maybe. I don't really care. Oh, I did this in backward order. I know I said it'd be easy to get everything in there, but it's still a little bit of a push. like I said, sit pad that goes in one of my outside pockets. And then I must have things packed a little bit different than usual. So sit pad, one Nalgene on the other. Got my camp chair. I'll throw some pictures up of it. Camp chair, you need the ground sheet. The ground sheet makes it so you can sit in mud, snow, dirt, anything. Without the ground sheet, camp chair, pretty much useless. Why do I have it? I'm carrying a really heavy pack. I want someplace nice to sit. And I like, when I change my boots, I want somewhere to sit. So that's how. Reference, this is the camp chair with the ground sheet in here. Camp chair with the stuff sack and ground sheet. We got 23 ounces. 23 ounces for a chair and comfort. I'm okay with that. Possible. Get the food down in there. So with the food, it's usually up here. You just push and cram and push and cram, and it'll go down enough. If it doesn't, that's fine too. You get that tight, and then you got a strap here. Now when I don't have snowshoes on, I put this right here to help pull the weight up. And there, you have a lot of stuff. I don't have the brain all done yet, but that is that for now. Is it heavy? Well, yeah, it's heavy. Yeah, it's heavy. We'll weigh this separate later. That's the brain that comes off. So, yeah, we'll call that 36 pounds. That's the backpack. Throw it up here, I guess. It's not super heavy right now, but so you get up there. Got most of my weight off my back now, and here you are. You got load lifters up here, depending on how tired you are, how sore. I move this around to wherever it's comfortable. A little fat right now is what it is. But yeah, this would be a very light pack for me because it's missing 23 pounds of water and let's just say 7 pounds of food, which is another 30 pounds. So that's at 65 right now. We got to fill this with lots of electronics, lots of crap you don't need. And yeah, we'll get to that in a little bit. Just a few more things. I was wearing these Outdoor Research, I think they're the crocodile gaiters. I don't know. They got a strap. They did phenomenal. On the on the Smoky Mountains trip, they kept from whatever they covered was dry, no matter what rain I was going through. If water got into my boots from my boots, then it was wet, but everything stayed dry, everything stayed warm on this trip. I never had a cactus go through, my ankles stayed warm. Ventilation was a little bit of an issue. I got a little bit more than normal sweaty feet. I use these all the time. They never go on the pack because that pack's too heavy and it's just easier because it is. I am about to upgrade these. I'm missing a carbide. I got these in 2018. These are Trekology. I would say I paid $25 for them back in 2018. They got thousands and thousands of miles on them. They do not make this style anymore. However, the REI brand is just about the same colors and just slightly heavier, so I'm going to go with that one. When I was hiking, I would wear one Under Armour shirt and then either a light hat or a bandana. I have a couple different pairs of gloves that I'll show you. And then I would wear Under Armour bottoms with my Feel Ravens on top. And then I said Gators, and I have a pair of 9-inch Irish setters. I can get those out a little bit. They're pretty dirty. So I work pretty. These are what I use. I like big boots. I like heavy boots. I have injuries, nerve damage, nerve issues. Big heavy boots. I don't mind them. These are pretty much shot. I'm trying to find another pair of these because I like them so much. They're no longer waterproof, but they're great for everything else right now. So that gets most of my gear out of the way. Alright, so this is a lot of the stuff I had in the brain. I know I'm missing a few little things, but we'll go through it. So this is my first aid kit. We got alcohol, KT tape, band-aids, and moleskin for blisters. If that's not good enough, yeah. Also, I got a repair kit for my thermarest and for my pole in here. That's not the biggest, not the best. Let's go through electronics here. So, my phone obviously is in my pocket. This, the battery, or the GPS, and then I had a couple of spare batteries. That is no longer coming with me. For GPSs, I got my Garmin now. I didn't have that till last year, and I also got my watch, and phones do surprisingly well. This trip was in for a lot of pain, a lot of suffering, so I didn't really know what. I just kind of threw everything in my pack and didn't really care. It's a Nightcore 10,000. I'm probably going to get another one of these to replace this Energizer 20,000 because 2 of these will be fine. I don't need 30,000. Headlights, I actually had a second battery for this big one. I think in the future I'm not going to take the second battery, I'm just going to take both head torches. Another thing I'm going to drop this. I don't need this light plus this one, so I'm going to keep this with these two, no spare battery. I like lights, I hike in the dark a lot. Knife, just a little heavy knife. With these I got cord to charge my watch, and then 2 cords that charge everything else. That should be plenty normally. From there we got lighters, fire starter, earplugs, spare earbuds for my headset. This is instructions for my MSR XGK stove, just to kind of help me out. Again, some more first aid stuff. Kleenexes, the batteries, that's no longer coming with because that's weight we just don't need. Extra shoelace, because if you don't have a shoelace, it's going to be an awful hike. Little pads for my skis. This I put it over my water thing, and after I boil water, I put it into those bags through here, and this strains my water that I boiled, because even if it's snow, there's always bugs and crap in there. So this is my strainer, handkerchief, whatever you need. This is some controversial weights. So I got this big wallet that's heavy, and then I carried both of these. Now next time I'm probably gonna drop it and just take these two. The wallet, I don't know if we're into the wallet, but probably some weight that we should have dropped here somewhere. And yeah, this all just kind of toss it in here. I normally got more plastic bags to kind of separate. There was like 6 plastic bags, 1 for power, 1 for each of the things basically. Like I said, this is all going out, but we'll just throw it in for a rough weight at the moment. The brain, we're at 84 ounces. 84. Alright, so that concludes this gear test, or mostly. Let's see if I can get one more of my base weight here. I got 41 pounds. 41. So we're going to call that about a 70-pound pack-ish. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions or any pointers, I'm sure there's going to be pointers if anybody watches this. Kyle hates hiking. Camp chair. Camp chair, camp chair, camp chair. But, is it a lot of weight? Yeah, it's a lot of weight. But it's not a lot of weight because I'm not in the military. I don't have plate carrier on, I'm not carrying a gun, and I'm just going for fun. So this is actually a light pack in the reality of the real world. Because I'm pretty sure a soldier would love to carry this pack compared to whatever they carry. Does that make it right? No. Just don't be scared of it. Train. Train, train, train. Prevent injury by training. Just don't overtrain. And yeah, I'll try to get into a video for that eventually. But that is my pack after doing this for 1 year. At least that's without snowshoes. I got these can sometimes go in there too, and these add another, I think these are 5 pounds piece, plus the few extra repair pieces. Food. For food we did 2 giant Kit Kats, a giant bag of jelly beans, lots of hot chocolate to put in the hot chocolate. I had 1 Mountain House meal because those tear me apart. The first night I had a ginormous ham and cheese sandwich. I had some beef jerky and some granola. I could have dropped some of the granola and some of the beef jerky for food. And then for supplements, I took pre-workout for each morning. I took an electrolyte mix, drink Element, I think. Whatever I had, whatever I bought, I gotta get some more. So whatever brand, I'm gonna get those. So I'd have one of those a day. And I think it came out to like 6-7 pounds. I know it was a lot, but I was just kind of going slow. Wasn't in a rush. I was just having a good time. So, but yeah, if you have anything to help me out with, or I know my gear is not the best, but it's all I got so far. Make it work.